first reason that every coach needs a video content strategy is because, and we've touched on it already, it builds trust at scale. It really builds trust at scale. Because if you're a coach or consultant, really, you have your processes, you have your frameworks, you have your ideas of how to get somebody from point A to point B. But really what you're selling is you're selling yourself.
Right.
You're selling who you are, right? And if I don't know who you are, if you kind of hide yourself behind a website and some stock photos, like I don't know who you are, and you're saying, "Hey, I can help you out," and I don't get to hear you talk or see your personality. I mean, Dustin, I think it's something that you see a lot of coaches or consultants do, where like if they're on a podcast or if they're in videos in some way, shape, or form, right? And they laugh at silly things or they say certain things a certain way, it just kind of lets you into their personality, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you and I knew each other for years before we started working together, but
Right.
one reason that that I did engage with you is because I knew you as a person. I trusted you, even though I might not know exactly all your processes and frameworks and everything, but I trusted you as a person. I had conversations with you about life and about different things. And so I trusted you enough to be able to say, you know what, I want to engage in this relationship, of this working relationship with you. And that's why I say this kind of stuff, creating content builds trust at scale. So as somebody, Dustin, that's worked, 100 episodes of a podcast now, how have you seen that with some of your clients? Have you seen it build trust even before somebody jumps on a call with you?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. If I get, by the time I get on what all of us have is these discovery calls, right, where we're getting to know each other or whatever, and I'll drop a mention of kind of one of my frameworks, or I'll mention, hey, this is the kind of approach we take. Inevitably, I hear, oh yeah, I remember hearing that on the podcast, or I remember seeing that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Or oh yeah, I clicked a social thing that you had about that, and that's where you're the do versus do guy. Yeah, okay, cool. Or yeah, you're the process guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that's just, it's almost like a nickname that starts to stick. But yeah, it definitely helps have a better starting point than just kind of walking in cold
Yeah.
and not knowing really anything about the person that you're about to meet with. I'm trying right now on my end to figure out how to flip that and go, how do I learn more about the client before I get on the call? So it's not so weird for me to be like, tell me about yourself.
Yeah. Hey, who are you?
But yeah, it's a great start. Many times it comes up, it's a great starting point for them to be like, oh yeah, I mean, I've got a book out there too. Right. So it's like, oh yeah, I read your book, and I know that story. I know that I've heard you talk about that on the podcast before, that kind of thing.
And I think we all know this in some way, shape, or form, whether we verbalize it like this or not, is that when we're watching the content, whether it's YouTube or listening to a podcast or even catching somebody on social media, it does build trust. And it probably goes the other way too, but it does build trust where you're like, oh, this person, I understand them a little bit more. And what I love right now, and this is a little side tangent, is, I think for a long time, social media kind of became this perfectly curated version of ourselves. And I think that still happens a little bit, but what we're seeing over the course of time now, and especially the rise of like longer form content or podcasts like this, is it's hard to be fake in a 45-minute conversation, right? Like you can't keep that front of just like, oh, let me serve up the best parts. Like you get to hear a little bit of the struggle. You get to hear a little bit about, oh, what's what we're working on right now. We're doing, and so it allows for that trust to be built in that way. And I think that's what I love as you look out on the landscape of kind of where we're at in social media land and just content in general. It's starting to get less produced and more just real life conversations. And that's going to build trust a lot faster than anything else. And so I love this idea, or this little quote that's coaches sell trust, and trust is built faster on video than any other platform.
Yeah, and I think that too is just to be able to hear. It's not just about hearing tone in the person's voice, but it's about being able to see. As a coach and consultant, I want people to know that I empathize with where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And empathy is a super connector emotion,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That I can see more on someone's face than I can hear in their voice. I can hear it in their voice for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but it takes it even more higher up on the connection level if I can show them with my face that I care,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you're doing right now. Like you're
Yeah.
showing me with your face that you're listening intently to what I'm saying. If this was just a phone call, see now you're trying and it's not working anymore. But but if this were just like a phone call thing, right? Then
Yeah.
it would be like I don't know if he's like also
Yeah.
changing a diaper at the same time that
Right.
I'm telling him
Which
about
is
my
which
biggest
is
struggles.
probably
More
something
than likely with you, that's what's
I
happening.
have
Yes.
so many kids that
If
that
you're
would
not
probably.
on video, you're changing a diaper. Yeah.
Yep, that's very true.
But
And then if my wife is watching this, she's like, "No, you're not. You
no,
never
you're
do
not.
that."
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like it's
100.
you have the facial express. That's why emojis were so popular, right?
Mhm.
And via text is because you could
Yep,
share a visual of this is how I'm
yep,
feeling towards what you're saying. I'm
yep,
laughing about it. I'm sad about it. I'm
yep,
excited. I'm scared. I'm nervous. Like being able to share that emotion visually via video. There's no replication for that
yep.
other than being in person.
Yeah. And that's why, the emojis were so good for a guy like myself because I could always say something and then put that face, like the laughing face, because I was like, "Oh, that was a little bit sarcastic and it might come across rude, so let me put the
Mhm.
laughing face and make you feel better."
Right.
So, that's, if you ever see me do that, Dustin, that's why I'm saying that,
I understand you.
Anyway. So yeah, so number one reason that why every coach needs to build a video content strategy is that it builds trust at scale.